The first 10 seconds on that planet stole something I had never shown another living soul. Not the name on my tags. It reached deeper into the quiet marrow where I kept the sound of my mother's voice when I was 6 and the dark felt too big for the room. It took that sound and gave it back through the mountain. Stone, wind, gravity, all of it shaped into words only she would have known. A sentence I had never spoken out loud, not once in all my years. And the ocean answered. It glowed brighter, like it approved. We named it KARMA-9 because humans slap a label on what terrifies them and pretend they understand. It was supposed to be empty, silent, the kind of place you claim for the company, file the report, and never think about again. But the sky knew we were coming. Clouds stacked like old bruises, violet and deep amber, white ribbons braiding themselves in patterns too deliberate for any wind. Our cameras kept trying to correct the colors and failing because the light here wasn't light, it was permission. The planet deciding what it would let us witness. Sato read the atmospheric data like she was confessing. Oxygen's high, nitrogen's baseline, but there's complex organics suspended up here, like the clouds have a recipe. The clouds flinched when our heat signature touched them. A fast inward twitch, like something alive just noticed us and leaned in for a closer look. When we dropped below the cloud deck, the surface hit us like a revelation we weren't ready for. Oceans that burned with their own light, vast, slow pulses rolling beneath the waves like the heartbeat of something ancient and sleeping. Mountains that breathed, ridges rising and falling, warm mist sighing from pores in the rock in long, patient exhalations. Wren's voice cracked with something close to awe. Conductive lattices through the crust. If it's threaded like this everywhere, this world has nerves. It can feel us. A planet with a nervous system. We set down on a plateau that responded to our weight. The ground sank, then firmed around the landing struts with deliberate care, the way living tissue accommodates pressure. When I stepped out, my boots sank 2 millimeters, and the surface tightened gently around them, learning the exact shape of me. The forest wasn't trees, it was architecture, pale columns etched with spiraling grooves that turned wind into layered music, a living instrument the size of a city. Our drones changed pitch, and the columns turned toward the sound, tilting degree by careful degree, harvesting vibration like it carried meaning. Wren barely breathed. Mechanoreceptors. They convert sound into electrical signals. This isn't vegetation. It's a distributed intelligence, and it's paying attention. Night fell like a door slamming shut. The sky went deep indigo, and the ocean lit from below, turning the horizon into a second sky. We sealed the habitat, that fragile bubble of Earth certainty, and I took first watch. The storms that rose weren't storms. They were floating reefs of luminous tissue, threaded with glowing filaments that moved with intention, correcting course, choosing routes, avoiding peaks like they had somewhere important to be. One of them circled our habitat once, twice, On the third pass, it stopped directly overhead and held position. A tendril of mist descended, slow as thought, and touched the roof glass. Condensation bloomed across the pane. Then the water arranged itself into a handprint. 5 fingers, human, pressed from the outside in. We all understood at the same instant. This place wasn't studying us, it was remembering us.
We should have launched right then, but the human species has never been good at walking away from a mirror that looks back. Ren wanted the core sample. We followed every protocol like it still mattered, sterilized, contained by the book. When the drill pierced the vent, the mountain exhaled warm, iron-rich breath, and the dust rose. It moved with purpose, spiraling, clustering, testing, climbing the shaft toward the heat and electricity of us. I told him not to touch it. His gloved hand hovered anyway, and the dust decided for him. It flowed across the fabric in a thin, deliberate film and slipped into seams no Earth suit had ever been built to stop.
Behind him, the vent pores slowly narrowed, like a mouth finishing a swallow. After that, the world began finishing our sentences. Paths opened in the singing forest before we reached them. The wind died for exactly the seconds we needed to launch a drone. When Sato whispered Hiroshima under her breath during a systems check, the living storm above us froze mid-course and held perfectly still. Ren looked at me with eyes that aged years in minutes. It doesn't just register sound, it understands intent, meaning. It can read the history we carry in ourselves, the things we never say out loud. We brought the whole archive with us, and this planet knows how to open it. The replacements began quietly. Mallory went out to recalibrate a sensor array. We watched through the habitat window, clear line of sight, 30 yards, completely routine. She knelt, adjusted the panel, stood up, and her shadow stood up with her. A perfect copy rose from the ground where her shadow had been. The real Mallory looked down at her own feet, then up at us through the glass. Her face didn't show fear, it showed release, the kind you see when someone is finally allowed to set down a weight they didn't know they were carrying. She turned and walked into the corridor the columns had opened. We ran after her. The corridor was empty. Then Mallory stepped out from the far side. Same suit, same voice, but her visor held the ocean's glow, even though the ocean was behind us. I was being kept, she said softly, so I could be returned the way I was meant to be.
Ren said the word like it cost him something. Forge.
The planet wasn't erasing us. It was archiving the originals as patterns of light and memory in its oceans and stone, then printing new versions from the template. Still curious, still capable of wonder, just unable to repeat the old hungers and harms with the same effortless skill. That night, the storms wove our history across the habitat roof in condensation and cold light. Factories pouring poison into skies that had never carried it. Forests falling to stumps in fast forward. Oceans draining of color and life. No spectacle, just the quiet, patient arithmetic of every choice we had made and every consequence we had refused to name. The habitat speakers were dead. We had cut power to them ourselves. But a single low tone rose anyway, and then the voice came. Many voices braided into one, patient as continental drift. We learned your shape. We learned what you hunger for. We learned every crime you ever committed. I forced the words out. Who are you? The answer came with the quiet certainty of something that had outlived urgency itself. I am what you tried to leave behind. On the 9th morning, my replacement was already waiting in the common module when I walked in. Same height, same scar on the left glove from that training accident years ago. He looked at me with my own eyes and smiled the way I smile when I finally understand something I cannot change. Do you know why the planet brought you here? He asked. I had no answer. My throat was full of every justification our species had ever used to keep going. He nodded toward the ocean, where thousands of human faces rose and sank slowly in the living glow, like memories the world had decided were worth keeping safe. You came as explorers, he said quietly, but you arrived as evidence. Then the mountain spoke again in my mother's voice, the one she used on the rare nights when she could finally believe the future might be gentle. Let go, it said. We have seen what holding on has done to you. In that last moment, the truth arrived clean and without mercy. The planet had never hated us. It had only remembered. Every war as vibration locked in its stone. Every extinction as a missing note in its living choir. Every cruelty we passed down generation after generation as chemistry quietly recorded in its seas. It carried us because it had no choice but to carry us, and in its ancient, patient way, it had decided the only mercy left was to replace us with versions that could finally lay the burden down. The voice you are hearing right now, this calm, steady voice, it is not mine anymore. It belongs to the planet. It is learning to wear our language like a second skin, so it can tell our story the way it actually happened. Forever.